In vanilla JavaScript, the way you create an element is to use DOM API. I can say, for example, document create element, and let's say a button. I can add a text with text content property. I can specify the type. I'll also set a click event. This is fine, but it is robust. Of course, I can render this because Markup Templates handles DOM elements. But Markup exposes a utility function called element. It is not a helper, just a utility to create DOM elements in one go. I can call it with a tag name and open an object and provide the text content and attributes, and can specify the same attribute including the event. There is also the HTML content property. The nice thing of this is that it allows me to do everything in one call instead of creating a variable, then updating things on it. Also, the onClick here is created using the add event listeners instead of the onClick property, which can be overridden and break things. Another advantage is that it handles custom web components elements props by correctly setting the props, especially when the data you want to pass is non-primitive like map, set, etc. Also, it is always evolving with new capabilities and handling, and it is simple to use. Try it out. I recommend it to always use it when you want to create a DOM element. Another utility Markup exposes the suspense utility, and it can be used to handle asynchronous rendering or lazy loading content. To show you, I have here a load content function, which will return a promise here where I'll set timeout to resolve to a paragraph template. If you have a synchronous function like this that renders content, you can just render it with suspense. Let's take a look. What it does is render a loading text, as you can see here. Then after the content is done, it renders that content. All it is doing is calling the replace method in the template instance. Its type definition is simple. We must provide an async function that resolves to a template instance, and it has two additional optional arguments you can use to control what renders while things are pending and when things fail. I'll go ahead and say loading content for the loading template. This works just fine. For the error, I'll simply reject it with an error saying failed to load content. Here you see it renders a red paragraph with error message by default. I can change that by providing a callback function that gets called with the error. And I'll render a paragraph with the red background, white text, and some padding. We see the loading content, and there you go, my error message. Take advantage of this utility. They really highlight how using function can let you do a lot of things right into the template.